everyone, and happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. So today we're talking a little bit about the issues that affect women, and we're going to go through some simple meditation techniques that you can use at home to help you combat those issues and also just feel more peaceful inside. So I'm Shanti Ghosh, and I have with me...
I'm Jenny Zapavinya. It's interesting, Shanti, today I was reading about how prevalent anxiety is in the lives of women, and that women actually suffer from anxiety twice. They're twice as likely to suffer from anxiety in their lives. Have you found that meditation has helped you with this aspect of managing anxiety and worry?
Definitely. I'm someone who does tend to get a bit anxious because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and meditation, I find it invaluable in my day-to-day life, just dealing with the small stresses of being a very busy mom. So just taking that moment to bring my attention back inside and just find that inner silence really helps me to make better decisions and to tone down any negative reactions and emotions. So I find it really invaluable for the little stresses, but also the big ones. So I know we faced this event of the Hurricane Irma when it was heading straight towards us in Florida when we were living there a couple of years ago, and we had like 3 or 4 days build up just watching the news, stressing me out to such a level that I was just, feeling completely exhausted. So that time I had to just remind myself to sit down, and whenever I did that, I found that stress completely lift off me. And in the end, the hurricane didn't turn out to be such a big deal. So that 3 days of anxiety was for nothing. So I find the meditation really, really helped me in that situation, because sometimes the fear or the anxiety is actually worse and has a bigger effect on your health than the event itself.
Yeah, I guess it's interesting you say that. It's very relevant to what's happening right now in Australia and the world with coronavirus. It seems that the fear is the biggest thing that we're all facing now, the fear of the unknown. And we've been told, the medical profession tell us again and again, that the actual virus itself is not extreme in 99% of cases, but it's the fear that seems to have taken over our lives.
Yeah, so first it was the bushfires, then coronavirus. Is a constant, stream of things that we need to be anxious about. So we just have to really know how to manage those emotions. And meditation is the best way, I feel. And really, really helps. It can help us and it can help everyone else as well.
Yeah, because those little anxieties, even though we don't think it's important, when we experience anxiety over a long period of time, it can certainly affect our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health.
And we rub off on others as well. So the more anxious we get, we make the people around us also anxious. So it's like something that keeps on spreading.
Exactly.
So I think one of the things Shri Mataji, she spoke about anxiety, but she also gave us such simple techniques. And I know you were just telling me about how much Shri Mataji had studied, and I wasn't completely.
Yes, Shri Mataji was certainly very prominent in society, even though she, a lot of her time was spent raising her family. She was one of the, she got a medical degree at a time when Indian women weren't going to university. She was a freedom fighter before she had her family, and she was also a very strong advocate of widows remarrying at a time when that was completely unheard of. And I was even researching about her mum, and her mother was one of the first women to receive an honours degree in mathematics.
So she really led the way in education, and also taking a stance politically in India when it was quite difficult. And also I know she suffered at the hands of or being one of those freedom fighters. It was not an easy choice to make.
No.
But I had been to Delhi,
yes,
and I know that Shri Mataji had set up an NGO for destitute women there. So she really supported women and really advocated for getting them back on their feet and finding ways to help them. So, and how has anxiety been, have you found meditation has helped you in your life?
Yes,
too?
Well, when I started meditating, it was a time when I had 3 small children. I was at home with my children, and at that time I could honestly say I was quite dissatisfied with my life, because I found it difficult the monotony of everyday life. And I don't think I really valued that time that I was having with my children. But when I started meditating, I began to feel that joy of all those little moments that I had in my life. And it made me realize how important it is to have that opportunity to be home with your children. And I know Shri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga, she's given thousands of talks since 1970 when she founded Sahaja Yoga, and many of her talks are about the role of women and the differences between men and women. And she often spoke about how men and women are the two wheels of the one chariot. We have our own strengths, but we are equal. And I feel it's very important to value the strengths that we do have as women.
So I know we've been talking a bit about anxiety, but you brought up about joy and joy in the little moments. And, you know, our life is made up of all these beautiful moments, and if we miss them and just always wait for those big things, we miss so many moments of joy.
That's
so
right.
I know we both experienced this self-realization, and how that's something that really helps us tap into that joy and helps us to live in the present moment, where we can fully, you know, be satisfied and enjoy all these little moments. We don't miss them, waiting for something better.
That's exactly right, because if we're worrying about the future, or we're waiting for something that's happening in the future, or we have regrets about something that we've done in the past, we don't see the joy in the present moment.
Yeah, and that's what we want, right? We all want to live our lives fully and completely enjoy every moment.
Yeah.
So maybe at this point we can take everyone through a guided meditation. So this is a very simple exercise developed by Shri Mataji, and we'll just ask you to put your right hand on various parts of your left side, and we'll be taking these affirmations. So this is something you're doing for yourself. So you just do it with full sincerity and just see how it helps you or how it makes you feel. So just keep an open mind, that's all we ask. So just sit maybe in a comfortable position, maybe if it's possible to sit with good posture, it does help. And let's just take a moment to bring our attention inside. We can take a couple of deep breaths. Just breathing in, holding it, and then breathe out. Once again, you can breathe in deeply, hold it, and then breathe out. And let's just take a moment to introspect, to see what are we feeling inside? What is our status? What is our state? If there's any tension in your shoulders, please release it, relax. If there's any tension in any other part of your body, just let go. Now, during this meditation, we'll be saying these affirmations to ourselves, so you can take them silently, but just say them with as much feeling as you can, so that they really have an effect. And we'll be addressing an energy that's inside of us, that energy that helps us to sleep, the energy that helps us to heal. So we can address this energy as mother energy, if it makes you feel comfortable, or we can just say energy. So let's put our right hand on our heart to begin with, just pressing firmly, just so that our attention stays right there where our hand is resting. So here we just need to ask ourselves a question honestly, that who am I? Am I this body, these emotions? Am I my reactions? Or am I something beyond all those things? So Mother, who am I? So now let's put our hand on our stomach, again pressing firmly, just so that our attention remains rooted to that place where our hand is. So again we ask ourselves a question, that am I my own master? Am I in control of myself? Mother, am I my own master? We put our hand down to our hip on the left-hand side, just where your leg and your body meet. So at this energy center, it's important that we express the desire to know ourselves in a true way, in a true sense. So here we ask that Mother Energy, please give me pure knowledge. Mother, please help me to know myself. So it's very important that you desire this, because no one can force anything on you. So Mother, please help me to know myself, or please give me the pure knowledge about myself. Now let's put our hand back up to our stomach. Now here we have to have full confidence in ourselves. We have to have full belief that Mother, I am my own master. Mother, I am my own teacher. I am capable of mastering myself. Mother, I am my own master. Now we put our hand back on our heart. And again, we need to have full confidence, full faith in ourselves, that I'm more than just my emotions, my reactions, this body. I'm something beyond all of those things. I'm something eternal. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the spirit. Now let's put our right hand on our shoulder. And at this energy center, it's very important that we let go of any tension. But also, you can turn your head slightly to the right and a little bit massage this center, because we tend to really tense up these muscles. So at this chakra or energy center, it's very important that we let go of any feelings of guilt, because these really hamper your ability to become silent inside. They'll keep on hassling you and making you feel bad about yourself without correcting anything in your behavior. So let's just say that, Mother, I am not guilty. Mother, I am not guilty. Any mistakes I have made, I will face them and I will correct them. Mother, I am not guilty. We can put our hand over our forehead, and here you can just lean your head into your hand a little bit and just massage the temples a little bit with your thumb and four fingers. So at this energy center, it's very important that we forgive. And we need to realize that by not forgiving, we just hold that poisonous emotion within ourselves, and we can really make ourselves sick and also just lose the joy. So let's forgive everyone And let's also forgive ourselves for any mistakes we might have made, knowingly or unknowingly. So Mother Energy, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. Let's just free ourselves of this burden. Holding a grudge takes up so much energy and it doesn't fix anything. Mother, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. Let's just let go and feel that relaxation. So now we just stretch out our fingers and our palms so that our fingers are pointing up as much as possible. And the center of our palm, we place it on the top of our head, on the fontanelle bone area, which is halfway between the hairline and the crown of the head. Just press down firmly and rotate in a clockwise direction, moving the skin of the scalp, not just your hair. So let's just press and move it in a clockwise direction 7 times. And here we just have to really express that desire to experience meditation or this inner silence, this connection. So Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Please help me to feel the silence and the connection of meditation. Once you've finished, you can just keep your hand back on your lap, but try and let your attention rest on the top of your head where your hand was just now. See if you can just be silent inside. Distance yourself from your thoughts. If a thought comes, just watch it, or say, not this thought. And find that space, that silence between your thoughts. So let's just be aware of what we're feeling on our hands. See how you're feeling inside. Are you feeling a little lighter? You may even feel a cool sensation in the palm of your hands, just in the middle. But if you're not feeling that, maybe you're feeling that you're a little quieter, a little bit more peaceful inside. You have to give yourself the time just to find that silence. And let it spread. So I hope everyone experienced a little bit of a taste of meditation. So we spoke a little bit about how meditation has helped us, a little bit about joy, finding those moments, and a little bit about anxiety. But how else do you think meditation can help women in general?
I think that very often we look for satisfaction or security outside ourselves. So we may go places that make us feel happy or peaceful. We might keep company with people that we feel make us feel secure. We may buy things to feel satisfied. But when we meditate, we find out that all these qualities are actually within us. They sit within us. They sit on all our chakras. So when you meditate and you can ask for these qualities in your meditation, at a very subtle level, you begin to become connected to these qualities.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I read this really interesting book last year, and it was by Melinda Gates. It's called The Moment of Lift, How Empowering Women Changes the World. And it really resonated with me as someone who's doing meditation. So it really spoke about how when you uplift women, you uplift the whole society. So there was a very interesting quote, and I'll just read it for you. It says that when we invest in women and girls, we are investing in the people who invest in everyone else. And I felt like their whole foundation, they were talking about how through the many years of work they did, traveling all over the world, they realized this simple truth that when you help educate women and give them opportunities and lift them up, they're helping their children, and then they're helping the whole society. So that's, if you want to have a lasting effect on societies, you have to go through the women, you have to approach the women. And I thought that meditation really does that. When you meditate as a woman, I feel like you really improve your own inner well-being, your own state of peace, and then that affects everyone around you. You become a better, employee. You become a better family member, a better mother if you have children, and just a better member of society. You're able to be kinder, more compassionate. I definitely know whenever my temper is coming up, if I can just at that moment take the time to bring my attention inside, it just makes a world of difference, and it changes my perspective. All of a sudden, I'm seeing the other person's side of things and not just my own. So,
it's a very important point that you make, that when we are balanced, we actually have the power to balance everyone around us. So when we meditate and we feel peaceful, so do our children, so do our partners, so do the people that we work with. So it's a very important way that we can help society and our families.
And I feel like in Australia, there is a little bit of hunger, but it's not a big issue for most people living in Australia. The issues that are facing us now are more emotional. It's more about self-esteem. It's more about respect for ourselves. So this is something where, meditation is just so important. In other countries, they are facing things that, have to be dealt with in other ways, like food. But in this country, I feel we're at that point where we just have to tackle our own inner demons or inner, shortcomings. And that's what will really take us to the next level, give us that moment of lift.
And you mentioned about the importance of empowering women. As a society, we need to empower women. We also are able to empower ourselves, and we can do that through meditation. So what we might do now is we'll go through a second meditation where we actually focus on these feminine qualities that help to make us stronger, feel more secure, more satisfied, and more peaceful. So again, just make yourself comfortable in your seat. Place your feet. If you're sitting on a chair, you can place your feet on the earth. Just take a couple of deep breaths to help you bring your attention inside. And just bringing your attention inside, you might begin to notice that power that you have within you, that power of silence. As was mentioned before, all these feminine qualities are within us, and we just need to get connected to these qualities. And to get connected, all we need to do is ask for that connection. So we're going to start by placing our attention at the base of the spine. And one of the most important qualities we have within us is wisdom. So here we can say, please establish the quality of wisdom within me. Please give me wisdom in my thoughts, my words, and my actions. We can then move our attention to between our hip bones, and if we need to strengthen that attention, we can place our hand just underneath our navel. Another very important quality we have within us is creativity. So here we can say, please establish the quality of divine creativity within me. Please make me a creative person. We can now place our attention and our hand, if we need to, on our stomach. And here we have a number of very important qualities. Please establish peace, generosity, and satisfaction within me. Allow me to trust my intuition. Help me to see that the divine power I have within me allows me to connect to that intuition. Can now place our hand and our attention at the center of the chest. Here we can ask for a strong heart. Please give me a strong heart, the heart of a lion. Make me a confident, fearless person. Allow me to trust the power I have within me. We can now place our hand at the base of the throat. Here we're going to ask for our connection to the witness power. When our witness power is strong, we are able to see what is happening around us, whether it's in our own family or in society, and stay silent and not react. When we're able to do this, we are our most powerful. Please make me the pure witness. Take away all negative reactions, reactions of anger, guilt, judgment, and criticism. I am the pure witness. We can now place our hand across our forehead. And another of the great powers that we have is forgiveness. And when we're able to forgive, it is purely a gift to ourselves. So here we can say, with full heart and full confidence, I forgive. I forgive. I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. Just say this a few times in your heart until your mind empties. I forgive. I forgive. We can now place our hand at the top of the head and keep our full attention where our hand is. And here we can say, please connect me to the feminine powers I have within me, the feminine powers of the universe. Please establish divine silence within. Take your hand up above your head, about 10 or 20 centimeters. And when you feel your attention is settled above your head, you can place your hand back down into your lap. Or just sit in the silence for a few moments. If you find that you're having thoughts, you can place your right hand across your forehead again and simply repeat, I forgive. I forgive. Just check your attention. If your attention has moved into the past or the future, just gently bring it back into this moment, into the silence. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. The wonderful thing about meditation is that we can devote as little as 10 minutes every day, and it will have an effect on the rest of our day. If you would like to know more about Sahaja Yoga, there are classes all over Australia that you can attend. Our classes are always free. You can go to the website www.freemeditation.com.au. Before we finish, we have a video of Shri Mataji, and she talks more about women and their role within society. Thank you for joining us.
New mother, Shri Mataji, who is a spiritual mother, and the present head of Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga.
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to hearing what you have to say, because I'm sure that you have touched the lives of many women around the world. I'm looking forward to be touched by you today.
I know you 10 minutes and 15, I'm sorry to say. But even what is the timing? How much time?
You can just summarize what you have written.
Brothers and sisters of the world, is a great honor for me to talk about global problems of women in front of this distinguished assembly. First of all, I would like to offer my profound gratitude to the government and people of our host country, the People's Republic of China. I've had a privilege of visiting China on 2 previous occasions, and I am a great admirer of the wisdom and culture of this great nation that I have visited. This is beyond my imagination, the most glorious time in the history of the world, that at this time we are so much aware of the problems of women. Women as a whole have definitely suffered over the ages, as the previous lady has told you, because we have not realized that their importance is, what their importance is and what their proper role is in human society. Society itself, which is her creation, tries to control or put down the woman. In the East, we can say that due to fundamentalist influence, women have been under great pressure, and their morality is based on fear rather than freedom. In the West, they have fought for their freedom, but what they have attained is studious freedom. The women in the West have freedom to abandon all social and moral values. Thus, in the East, we can say that most of the women are timid, oppressed, and cannot express themselves, while in the West we find most of the women are reduced to a sex activity. They are keen to expose their body, their anxiety is to appear in fashion advertisements, and very cheap popularity. Most of them accepted this position because otherwise they could not have survived in that chaotic world of the West. What most of the women in the East regard as very humiliating and degrading is regarded as something very glorifying in the West. I've seen both the worlds very deeply, and I feel that unless and until we bring a new culture by which women from the East and West can both rise in their own esteem and express themselves in such a way that they create high moral standards for their society. Women neither in the East nor in the West will rise to their full stature of feminine speciality. The speciality is that if women are respected for their womanhood, understanding what they are capable of and how they can empower themselves, with all the education needed, all the security will be provided to them, and they will provide security to the society. All the fundamentalists who talk of religion expect women to be absolutely moral, and the men can do whatever they like. I feel we have to educate men more than women. Because the idea of war comes also only from the men beginning. I must admit, it is not difficult to collect money for poor women in the developing countries and help them to get out of their poverty. But unfortunately, my knowledge is that the money we are collecting may not reach the poor women, but may end up into the pockets of the corrupt ministers, bureaucrats, and other people in charge, and ultimately it will end up in the Swiss bank. I do not want to criticize any UN organization because I know they are very honest in their purpose. But they must be made aware of what is happening under the table. We in India have 2 very big states called Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, which are very much helped by UNICEF as well as the World Health Organization. UNICEF started a project called Angan, meaning courtyard, where the children were to be educated and brought up in a proper shape. This project is not working at all for the children, but all the money goes into the pockets of all the corrupt people who are in charge of that project, and the children do not even get 2% of what is being sent for them. Same with the World Health Organization, which is sending medicines and equipment to India. These medicines are sold in the market and are completely used by the recipients for their own gains. The same happens to WHO equipment, so the poor people never get any benefit and they remain all the time helpless. All this money is called dirty money, but goes to the clean Swiss bank. A large part of the loans which the World Bank gives to the developing countries is also siphoned back to the personal accounts of the corrupt officials maintained in Swiss banks. Thus, all these developing countries are indebted to the World Bank but have no money. The money is in the Swiss bank. So I would request the UN to take this up with the Swiss bank and request them to return all such money which has been stifled to them. Very corrupt people and give this money to the UN so that the UN can utilize it for the education of women and other purposes, as well as for distributing to people under very effective vigilance. One has to have a very good network of people, especially women, who are involved and who are honest, compassionate, and who would like to make the best out of this money, helping the women who have to achieve social equality. The main work of women here is to create a good society that would enjoy peace better. Immorality, corruption, and violence are the two horrible monsters which are eating up our society. I would blame the mothers of these for corrupt and immoral persons because they fail in their duty as mothers in their child. The loving training of the mother is the first and most effective influence in shaping the children into beautiful students. Mothers who never try to guide with great concern and love, or the wives of the daughters who are falling into the fear of the men or of the destructive culture, have not done their duty as integral members of the family to strengthen the moral fiber of the men. It is important also to see how children are treated in these two cultures like East and West. What we see in the East is that the children who listen to their mothers, if they are not under fundamentalist culture, this culture relegates women to the level of an inferior human being, fit to be dominated by men and children. In the West, also the same thing happens. Children don't respect their mothers. Neither do they listen to them. I feel this is because generally the Western women spend more time looking after their body and looks than on looking after and loving their children. The link between the mother and children weakens and breaks. It is for this reason that many children become street urchins and wild. Fortunately, there are still many families in the East and some in the West who deeply defy the corrupting influence of today and look after their children and bring them up. But still I must say that the children in the East are not that much doing as they are in the West. The reason also is that in the East there are many people who have not taken to fundamentalist culture or to the Western culture and have a very good society and produce children who are exceptionally good, though this number may not be very great. But whatever culture they have inherited since long traditionally is very much ingrained in them, and to them the moral value system is the highest, more than money or power. The West is full of problems. Though they have money, they don't have peace within themselves. The truth is that women are the potential power of every civilization and every country. It is evident that women are the creators and the preservers of the entire humankind. This is the role which the Almighty God has given, assigned to them. Seeds cannot create anything by themselves. It is the Mother Earth which provides the flowers and the fruits and other bounties. Similarly, it is the women who create the child, who nurtures the baby and eventually brings up the citizen of tomorrow. Women must therefore rank with Mother Earth as the edifice of the entire humanity. Unfortunately, men have utilized muscle power to gain a dominating position over women. They have not recognized that women are complementary and equal, but not similar partners in human endeavors. A society that does recognize this fundamental truth and does not give to women their rightful role is not a civilized society. In my own country, there is a saying in Sanskrit, Yatra Naraya Pujante Tatra Ramante Devata, which means that where the women are respected and respectable, there resides the gods of our well-being. So it is for us at this moment to understand the value of this great power that is given to us by our Creator. But what do we find, whether in the East or the West? Women have not been able to give a full manifestation of their graces. I am not suggesting at all that the only role of women in human society is that of the mother, the procreator and the preserver of children, or that of a wife or a sister. Women have a full right to participate as equal partners in every aspect of life: social, cultural, educational, political, economical, administrative, and the rest. In order to prepare themselves for this all-pervading role, they must have the right to education in all branches of knowledge. But if they are mothers, they have a great responsibility towards their children as well as their society. Men are responsible for politics and economics of the country, but women are responsible for the society. Women can also support men. They can make leading part, of course, in any position. But it is very important that they should not forget they are women who have to manifest deep motherly concern and love. If they become manly and aggressive, the balance of the society cannot be maintained. At the same time, I must admit that while we ask for the rights of women, we must also stress the fundamental duties of women to the human society. If the women in the West are those who are educated in the West, also some others are educated. I have gone to the other extreme when they are taking to political, economical, or administrative roles to compete with men. They have become much too selfish, self-centered, and ambitious. They have no more their soothing, pleasing qualities which can bring peace and balance. On the contrary, they become dominating, pleasure-seeking individuals. They are far more worried about their physical attraction than about having a pleasing, sweet, and dignified personality. They give in to their baser self much faster than men, wittingly or unwittingly. All this leads to chaotic societies, and children grow up into street urchins preparing for wars. What we need is a balance between the two extremes. We need women as equal but not similar partners with men, but with a subtle understanding of the nature of men and how to bring them into the center with their inner balance. We need balanced women in order to have a balanced human race with peace within itself. You might say, oh, this is excellent in thought, but how do we achieve this state of balance? How do we stem the tide of diseases, corruption, immorality, immaturity, and violence? How do we end the present state of conflict and confusion? How do we bring about peace within every mind and heart? I very humbly submit that there is an answer to these questions. There is a new way. If you permit, should I say the present and new state?
Yeah, if you can just help them, because you have 3 more minutes. Okay, you have 3 more minutes.
Whatever I am going to tell you now is not to be taken for granted. You should, of course, have your minds open like science and treat whatever I am saying as a hypothesis. If this hypothesis can be proved, then you have to accept it as honest person, as absolute truth, because it is for your benevolence. It is for the benevolence of your family. It is for the benevolence of your country and for the benevolence of the whole world. I am here to tell you about the last breakthrough of our evolution. This breakthrough of our evolution is in our awareness, has to happen in this modern time, and has been moreover recorded in the writings of many seers. These are the times called as the decadent times, last called by great Saint Vyasa, who has written the Gita. And it is the decadence of humanity that we see around in every way possible. And unless and until we improve that, wars cannot be avoided. Now I would like to tell you the secret knowledge of our inner being, which was known in India thousands of years back. For our evolution and spiritual ascent, there is a residual power within us, which is located in the triangular bone at the base of our spine. This residual power is known as Kundalini. Though the knowledge of this power was available thousands of years back in India, the awakening of the Kundalini was done traditionally on an individual basis only. One guru would give awakening to one disciple. As a result of that awakening, what happens is that you achieve your self-realization, your self. Secondly, when this power is awakened, it rises and passes through 637 energy centers in your body, nourishing them and integrating. Ultimately, this power breaks through the fontanelle bone area, called as the talu or the brahmarandra, and connects you to the all-pervading power of divine love, which is described in the Bible also as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost, also in the Quran as Ruh, and also in the Indian scriptures as Param Chaitanya. Patanjali has called it as Ditambara. Whatever the name, this is a power which is all-pervading, which does all the subtle works of living process of evolution. The existence of this all-pervading energy is not felt before realization, but after self-realization, you can feel it on your fingertips or at the center of your palm or above the functioning bone area. Moreover, this process has to be spontaneous. Sahaja means it and Ja means born. That means the right to get this union with the all-pervading power of divine love is the birthright of every human. Our mental energies are limited. Our limited mental energy, which is linear in movement and has no sustenance of reality, reaches a point and stops. From there it boomerangs, and all the mentally linear movement comes back to us as a punishment sometimes. So now we need more energy, higher energy, deeper energy, and for that this happening has to take place if you don't want to have another war. I must say that in the West, I have met many people who are true seekers of truth and are fed up of artificiality of the Western life. Also, they didn't know what they were seeking sometimes, and they have made lots of mistakes. They have gone to false gurus who have taken lots of money, and the people have become bankrupt and mentally and physically handicapped. The one thing you must know that the awakening of the Kundalini and thus achieving self-realization is a living process of evolution for which we cannot pay anything. It is like putting a seed in the Mother Earth to sprout, because Mother Earth has the power to sprout. This shows in the same way we have this generative power in the triangular bone with the Greeks called as segment. This is a 3.5 point energy. This shows that the Greeks knew that this was a sacred bone, and hence they gave the same name Sekla. Actually, in some people you can see this triangular bone pulsating and the Kundalini very slowly rising. But there are many who have got self-realization. Now this Sahaja Yoga is working in 65 nations, and they have all become extremely peaceful to each other. In their hearts they are integrated, and they have become extremely loving and compassionate. I'm sorry I want to see more, but the time is over, so I hope you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm so sorry that we have to rush over the